Hi and very warm welcome at Amish Shackle 5858. I am Amish Shackle. Following news headlines have been reported by world major English news channels and news agencies. So please watch it.
Good morning, I'm Oliver Ferry and this is Daybreak. Israel says one of the four bodies returned by Hamas on Thursday was not that of slain hostage Shiri Bibas. The 32-year-old's remains were to have been sent back along with those of her two sons and one other hostage. Elon Musk says he is living the meme at America's largest gathering of conservatives. Musk, who says he is cutting costs in the federal government, wielded a chainsaw given him as a gift by Argentine President Javier Milei. Tensions between Ukraine and the US continue as Donald Trump's special envoy Keith Kellogg cancels a joint press conference after a meeting with President Volodymyr Zelensky. Meanwhile, other figures in the Trump administration say Ukraine should show more appreciation for what the American people have done for it. Israel says that one of the four bodies of hostages.
Lesbian Mardi Gras, Saturday, March 1 on ABC TV and ABC iView. Today, Israel's military says one of four bodies handed over by Hamas is not Shiri Bibas or any other hostage. US officials abruptly cancel a news conference with the Ukrainian president as the war of words between Kyiv and Washington escalates. A West Australian Liberal candidate who described a pub break-in as a welcome to country resigns after further inflammatory comments were unearthed. And residents breathe a sigh of relief in WA's far north as a major supply routes reopen in the wake of Cyclone Zelia. Hello and welcome to ABC News. I'm Nikari Thorpe coming to you from the land of...
Tonight we do have breaking news as we come on the air in the West. The image is coming in now. There's been a suspected terror attack in Israel, several bus explosions. Here in the U.S., the record-breaking brutal cold across the nation, and for how long? And desperate for freedom, the Menendez brothers tonight in an extraordinary move, calling into a podcast and what they reveal. First tonight, this life-threatening, record-breaking cold across the country from Texas to the East Coast. It was minus 15 degrees in Omaha. In parts of the country, wind chills 20 to 30 below zero tomorrow. And then the major change coming. Lee Goldberg has the forecast. Also just in tonight, the breaking news, the video circulating online of a suspected terror attack in Israel. Reports of multiple explosions targeting buses at different locations. They were empty, but Israeli authorities say this was meant for the morning rush. Martha Raddatz on what we know. Moments ago, Elon Musk, center stage, wielding a chainsaw amid the mass layoffs targeting thousands of federal workers across the U.S. The president's team today defending his first 30 days in office, and the new poll in tonight, what Americans think of the first 30 days of the mass firings of Elon Musk's role, what the polling reveals. Tonight, after President Trump called President Zelensky a dictator and said that Ukraine shouldn't have started the war with Russia, the White House today saying President Trump is very frustrated with Zelensky. The Trump administration pressuring him to sign a deal that allegedly includes handing over 50% of Ukraine's mineral rights to the U.S. European leaders alarmed by this sudden shift on Ukraine. The prison inmate brought to a new prison in upstate New York, the disturbing police video, and authorities say within a half an hour of arriving at that prison, the inmate was clinically dead. Tonight, in an extraordinary move, the Menendez brothers calling into a podcast from prison, hoping to be set free. Eric and Lyle Menendez describing their 35 years in prison and what they reveal. The dramatic scene on the highway, a mother driving an SUV slammed by a cement truck. The SUV bursts into flames. The extraordinary effort to save the mother. And the showdown on the ice, USA versus Canada, amid political tension between both countries boiling over even before the hockey game tonight. From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David York. From CBS News Headquarters in New York, this is the CBS Evening News.
Good evening, I'm Maurice Dubois.
I'm John Dickerson. President Trump today began the second month of his second term as head of the U.S. government, a government he is determined to shrink.
And he got some help today from a federal judge in Washington. The judge, an Obama appointee, refused to stop the president's mass firings of federal employees.
The judge said unions representing those workers must take their claims of wrongful firings to the Federal Labor Relations Authority. The chairwoman of that agency, a Biden appointee, is one of the people Mr. Trump fired.
Since the president was sworn in, he has taken aim at the federal workforce of 2.4 million and fired, laid off, or offered buyouts to untold thousands. We say untold because the White House is not telling us exactly how many as the job cuts continue. Louija Jiang has been tracking down the jobs being eliminated. And Louija, what have you found?
Well, we found that there is a group of more than 500,000 workers vulnerable to the administration's sweeping layoffs, and many serving key positions across the federal government. For some who have already lost their jobs, they're now desperately looking for answers why. I'm really not sure what I'm going to do.
Katie Sandlin is still living out of boxes after uprooting her life in Carbon Hill, Alabama last month, a town of 2,000, to work at the National Institutes of Health outside Washington, D.C.
I wiped out my savings account. I maxed out my credit card. I had to take out a loan.
But she called her job an opportunity of a lifetime, educating communities about NIH research.
People like me, where I'm from, rural Alabama, like these kind of jobs don't happen to people like me.
Welcome to Hannity, and tonight we are nearing the end of a transformational month in the Washington swamp. Now, to say President Trump hit the ground running hard, that would be one of the greatest understatements of all time. And not only is Trump fulfilling his promises to all of you, the American people, even fake news CNN, our friends, they pointed out Trump has remade the American electorate. Republicans are now surging in the polls. Democrats are hitting record lows. Congressional Democrats, one poll now at a near 22% approval rating. And Americans of all walks of life are finally coming together. Remember, all that unity that Joe Biden promised, well, President Trump is actually delivering on that promise. Now, even Teamsters President Sean O'Brien, the Republican Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, well, they buried the hatchet 2 years after this wild confrontation. Take a look.
If you want to run your mouth, we can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here. Okay, that's fine. Perfect. You want to do it now? I'd love to do it right now. Well, stand your butt up then. You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on. Oh, stop it.
Say your solution every poll.
No, sit down. I love a good fight, hockey fight, politician fight, whatever. Anyway, coming up, both Senator Mullen and Sean O'Brien, who you saw there, will be joining us with more on how President Trump is uniting the country. Also tonight, buckle up, our old friend, famed Democrat strategist James Carville. He will be here. Democrats, they'd be smart if they listen to people like him. I can predict with a pretty high degree of certainty they are definitely not likely to do so. Needless to say, we have a lot of questions about the sad state of affairs in his own party. First, why do they keep humiliating themselves in public? This morning, 5 Democratic lawmakers showed up in front of the FBI headquarters in D.C. for a pathetic-looking protest against Kash Patel, and after shouting into a microphone to a non-existent audience, Kash Patel was easily competed. He is guy director. Mark my words, Kash Patel, he is the guy that will restore the FBI to once again become the world's premier law enforcement agency and eviscerate the Bureau's political we're indeed from the Democratic Party in the past few weeks.
How the U.S. president appeared breaking news, Prince Edward Island's premier Dennis King's speech.
It has been the gift of a lifetime.
What's behind his surprise resignation? Travel plans up in the air.
Don't know more.
The wide domino effect. Other reports after the plane. Plus, patriotism on the line and on the ice.
This game tonight, people are mad over it.
The hopes Team Canada gets revenge with tonight's rematch against the U.S.
Global National with Donna Friesen. Tonight, President Trump's whirlwind first month back in office. Dramatic confederate of American law centers stages CPAC with a golden chainsaw. More than 70 executive orders signed. IRS employees, the latest target of the administration's mass layoffs. The potential impact in the heart of tax season. Plus the deep cuts at national parks.
It could mean life or death for someone who's having an emergency.
The warning at Yosemite and other iconic parks ahead of the busy spring travel season. The controversial confirmation of Kash Patel narrowly approved as director of the FBI. The unnerving scene as Hamas returned 4 bodies, the youngest victims of the October 7th attack among them. All of it happening as kid fueling and down warning the downfall. And there's good news.
A serious violation of their ceasefire. It's demanding the return of hostage Shiri Bibas's remains, insisting that she's not among the bodies returned in yesterday's grim exchange. China's foreign minister says the peace is tensions between Washington and South and South question U.S. highlighting their free agreement been in place more than a decade.
Well, the Australian side agreement. Thing that says absolutely, literally, Zelensky is not a dictator, but it's only right and proper that Ukrainians have a timeline for election.
South Wales Police plans to use facial recognition cameras across Cardiff during the Six Nations. So are we heading towards an Orwellian society?
You shouldn't make decisions balls takes control of 007.
Huge break in archaeology of the first pharaoh's tomb since Tutankhamun.
And in the sport, Daniel Dubois' defence of his IBA World Heavyweight title against Joseph Parker is off. He's not feeling very well. In rugby, this is the weekend with the Cup between England and Scotland. And darts, Gerwyn Price wins his first Premier League night for 2 years.
Hello there. Turning milder, but also wet and windy. There's a chance we could see some sunshine heading into the weekend. Stay tuned and I'll be here with all the details.
It's just gone 6 o'clock. I'm Stephen Dixon.
I'm Ellie Costello, and this is GB News Breakfast.
About version this piece is telegraph. Good on
battles.
Yeah.
How do How are you feeling?
John would be a bit pushed by the wayside.
He seems
alright.
Or is he alright?
Look at that. That's a picture of
We've London. Wonder is probably master plain of day with a brutality which recalls the darkest hours of our history. I issued that warning on the 6th of January. Today, these words have become a reality. In only 48 hours, more than 4,000 people died in Goma. Women, Rwanda and Burundi intersect, causing further panic.
The international forum that brings together the world's major and developing economies to discuss and enhance economic, social, and development ties. Behind me, G20 foreign ministers and high-ranking officials are gathered in what is a pivotal moment in South Africa's international diplomatic efforts. Amongst them are Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, his Canadian counterpart Melanie Joly, with the inclusion of the African Union into the G20 and Angola holding chairmanship of the AU, that country becomes part of the summit too. South Africa is looking to showcase Africa's potential and influence as the first country on the continent to host the international forum. This is happening during a time where a diplomatic spat between South Africa and the United States of America is playing out on the world stage. As part of the proceedings of Day 1, President Cyril Ramaphosa officially opened the meeting under the theme Solidarity, Equality, Sustainability.
Kenya announced on Wednesday its willingness to assist in peace initiatives in Sudan, following accusations from Khartoum that Nairobi had infringed on its sovereignty by hosting a meeting for Sudan's parliamentary group, the Rapid Support Force, RSF. The way Sudan is today, it is very
Thank you very much for giving time to Amir Shekel 5858. I am Amir Shekel. Have a good life. Bye-bye.